Hello and welcome to Jo-ttack on Titan. I'm Jim.
I'm Sam. It's Sunday.
Sunday.
You know what that means?
Attack.
It's our Super Bowl recap discussion post game podcast where we talk about the Rams and the Bengals. No, this is our
This is our Attack on Titan weekly watch through podcast. We're at final season.
Yes.
Part 2.
Yes. Episode 81.
Okay,
It's called Thaw. This is so if you first time from re-listening for some reason. Jim has finished it. I haven't, so it'll be a lot of baseless predictions from me.
Of course, there's no manga spoilers. Don't you worry your little head. This is an anime only zonly.
Mm-hmm.
It is funny because whenever Sam does make predictions about the manga, I always just say, ha ha ha. You don't know the half of it.
I don't.
Yeah, this is a pretty good one.
Good, but there's some ugly Titan stuff, but
it felt kind of weird.
Yes. The character stuff, I was like, hell yeah, but then like some of the animation stuff, I was like, hell no.
But some of the animation was good. Like there were some great cuts.
Yeah, but
I think we had a comment a few weeks ago. We have a commenter, Zipstream, who always comments. I think I'm saying the name right. Very knowledgeable commenter about animators, like animation. They always go into deep depth. They're into deep depth.
Deep depths.
They always go. Yeah, they always give us really detailed explanations of who did what scenes, who worked on what. And they had made a comment a few weeks ago that I took notice of that was basically like, this season has looked too good for too long. Like, we should be expecting a dip in quality soon.
And
it was like every week after that I was waiting for it, and there really wasn't until this was kind of it, I guess. Like, if you really want to be like, and this isn't even me, like, you were the one that was saying it mostly during the episode.
Yeah.
But like, you can tell that their priorities really did not lie in some of those background Titan shots.
Yeah, and reuse also just the rumbling Titans, just reuse that over and over again.
Which honestly, I think that looks
that's fine. Yeah, that's fine.
Like, they definitely, when I say background Titans, they were fine. The other ones, it's almost like
when they're climbing the castle, they look like or like there was one that was like running towards like the castle or something, and they look like blobs. It's like it looks like those screenshots from JoJo where it's just like the distance characters drawn. With like Quality Queen and like the some of the Part 5 stuff more so.
It's like, I mean, this is like very much a thing in animation and even anime.
Especially with how we know what's going on with Mappa right now.
There's a really funny thing with Madoka in particular. Like, it's like a meme to hell. There's like this one video called Maguka, and it's literally just like people like reading a thread that is all just like images of zoomed in background shots of Madoka characters, and they always look like so silly.
It's like those like one frame things in like Little Witch where it's just like the weirdest like frame of like blobbiness.
Well, in Little Witch it's like very intentional because it's like at least they're doing like squashing and like stretching.
Yes, it's charming also, like, or like her reflection off the bottle is like just a smiley face.
Yeah,
it's really fun.
But this is like because you're just doing like a distant shot, so you're not capturing all like the detail. You're not doing like
we were spoiled by Titans in like the first 3 seasons of like how they look and how they like.
It's true. There was always a lot of.
It's gonna be something you're gonna notice, especially watching like 4 seasons of this show.
And also, I don't even know how to describe it. I guess it's probably like post-production work. But the older, especially season 1, I remember the Titans had like a very kind of like fleshy texture.
Yeah.
They would do like a lot of like shine effects and things on them that made them look like kind of creepier.
Yeah.
With this, we're just really trying to get like, there's only like the facial detail.
That's when the Titans were really like the threat more so than anything else.
Which I think it's kind of interesting. So we haven't even really broken down what happens in this episode yet, but like obviously there's a lot of Titan fighting. Very classic. I saw like people saying like, oh, it feels very much like season 2, like season 1, like older season. But it's different because like things have elevated in the story where like the Titans don't even feel like a big threat anymore. This feels like we're cleaning up, kind of like, oh yeah, it's like in a video game when you have like a tiny side quest left. Like, yeah, we need to get to like the good stuff, but we just gotta like tie up this loose end first.
Yeah, we got to have all the loose. It's like, are you like or like it's like that point, like do your side quest now because the end of the game is coming and you can't go back after the game.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a pretty crazy episode. It's like stuff that happened. Why?
I think it was a fantastic episode.
This is what I've been waiting for. Like a lot of this stuff.
Yeah, so the episode is called Thaw, which immediately when I read that title, because the title...
It's funny that the title is for something that's like, and it's like an event that happened at the very, very end of the episode.
It's funny.
It should have been like next week's episode, I feel.
Well, we'll see what happens next week. But when I saw, because the titles leak like a few weeks in advance, so I saw that I was like, ooh, Annie.
They usually leak like midweek.
Well, no, the titles have been leaking.
Like, have they?
Yeah, like I remember seeing Thaw like several weeks ago.
Okay, I see them come up with like a post of like, episode 81 synopsis and title, like, and I'm like, I'm not gonna look at that, but then I didn't know they all leaked way ahead of time.
Yeah, I guess it's probably just how like TV. Like I
guess you
can like look on a TV guide. I guess
a lot of stuff like on demand. You can hit you can check a weeks ahead and see the info, synopsis, and or like titles.
Yeah, but so I immediately was excited because I love it. I love
we know who you love.
I love Annie, and I'm waiting for her to thaw out of that very liquidy cube.
I really thought it was gonna be like Falco had to bite her out, but I guess it's gonna be melting.
I think if he tried that, it would kill her. I think she would just die immediately.
I don't know. If he could like try the bite thing, like. He had some attempts.
No, you would have to like.
He can aim for the legs, and she'd be regenerated probably.
I don't know. It's still a gamble. I would say that your priority should be to not injure the person you're trying to save. Just generally. But so kind of a good little bookend to this episode. We actually start with something I forgot. Last week I talked about it. I mistakenly thought he was a fat guy, but then we talked about that. He died.
That guy got like rocked.
But then I remember after the episode came out, I looked at like the Reddits and stuff to see what people were talking about. And people are like, "Oh yeah, Annie's dad was in the shot." And then in this episode,
it was the fat man.
Yeah, the chubby guy.
Of course, they have to go like, "Oh hey, Mr. Lionheart, are you okay?" I'm like, "Oh, okay, of course."
So it's like, "Ooh, we're gonna see a little ooh."
He's gonna be crumbled.
Ooh.
He's gonna be rumbled.
Yeah, it's also cool too to see like I love that moment where like everyone like exits the paths and they're all like in the same location. And they've all like had this weird, horrifying shared experience that now they have to like pretend didn't happen for the next few days or however long it would take. That was one thing you kept talking about. You were saying how like long the rumbling would be, like how it would be like a very slow apocalypse,
long, slow process. Actually, trying to cross open sea and like. And like, how can Aaron like honestly know where everybody is or like these like civilizations? Does he just spreads out all the fucking rumblings?
I really have been thinking about the logistics because like ideally you would just have them line up like in a circle.
It's like the hardest, most complicated like genocide plan. I mean, because like, Zeke takes 80 years, but I honestly don't know how long this process of Aaron's taking, especially with like a shark that could be underwater takes a bite of the nape of like one of these Maltese. I
would say that it would probably. I'm just trying to think like math wise.
Especially Aaron can't see like. I guess where the humans would be hiding, or they go underground or something.
Well, I mean, I guess you would only need to like target certain areas.
Well, like we said, like. Well, Gabby says this when she like later on, where she's like, "Why can't he just attack military bases?" Or like, you have to, get logistics of this. Not good.
Yeah, well, actually, okay.
We're just actually talking about the episode.
Yeah, I was gonna say we could just speculate about the rumbling again for too long. But so yeah, speaking of, so we kind of resume with Gabby and Reiner, which we see the armor titan without his armor.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because like we don't quite understand it at this point. Kind of also another
you
like
assume at first it's like
mirror.
Oh, it's just him getting out of it, and that's why the armor's not there anymore. But even Reiner's like he's like he's so tired that he can't really regenerate right now. Another
thing too, this is kind of like really clever episode writing because like it also begins and ends with the whole like armor thing, like the tease of like okay, well. Like Reiner said that a part of the wall hurt him, but he was in the armor titan. Like, but he's also that should be like the safest place.
But he's also just was like very tired. Also from battling Aaron and like probably like was gonna lighten it up before.
He's also mentally like pretty broken. Like I mean, Reiner has been like on the fucking razor's edge this whole season.
Like I said, I put that thing of like he's just looking for an excuse to end his life, but not wanting to do suicide like Ymir did in her life.
Yeah, so we have a scene where basically Gabby is kind of rationalizing with Reiner. She's kind of like in the denial stage of the rumbling, where she's like
of her worst day ever.
Yeah. It's amazing that she's even like has any like initiative to do anything. But
she has a gun. That's all she. It's her emotional support gun.
Kind of is true, actually. But so she has this discussion with Reiner, basically like, what the fuck? Like, what do we do? Reiner also feels like he failed. He says like, I couldn't stop Eren. Like, he's gonna destroy everything. Like, there's no point.
And like, and Connie and Jean took Falco. Like, because he's one of the 9 Titans. Like, they know he's like a valuable person in this now. So,
and he also is saying, Gabby, please, like, take this chance.
Go to the blimp. Get the fuck out of here.
Find Peak. Go to the blimp. Yeah, no Peak. We saw
no Peak.
Hardly. We saw 1 frame of Peak, but that was in the past.
Yeah, but yeah. There's no Peak. We haven't seen what happened to Zeke.
No Peak. No Zeke. I'm gonna freak.
Yeah. Well, Zeke's also probably mind broken like most other people, but yeah, Peak is still running around.
So, Gabby's whole thing becomes like, okay, well, you can't convince Eren, so I will kill him. Like,
good luck with that.
Our goal must be to kill Eren.
Good luck with that.
To stop him from, because Gabby's concerned about her family. Like, she doesn't want her aunt and her parents and everyone to die.
Yeah, good luck with that. They're first.
Basically. So, let's see what else happened. Oh, so she has her epic baby Eren moment.
She ties her hair up like Eren does.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking awesome. This is why, like, Gabby's such a great character, because she's like an inverse reflection of Eren in like every way. It's so fucking cool.
Mm-hmm.
But so her like Joker-fi moment is
reverse Joker. This is like her becoming Batman.
Her reverse Joker.
This is her becoming from like year 1 Batman of just brutally like beating up like people, like probably clean close to murdering them, to just being like the no-kill person.
But unfortunately, Gabby does love to kill.
No. She's not Batman. She became the Punisher.
That's true. She's closer to the Punisher.
She's gonna like have an epic skull on her. On her chest.
God, no. So we then kind of cut back over to, this is actually a really important scene. We cut back over to Mikasa, Connie, Armin, and Jean.
Our squad, our cadet squad.
Yeah, like basically like kind of, I guess you could say like our protagonist, like at the moment.
Yes.
Like we kind of don't have a protagonist right now. Probably Gabby. I would say Gabby.
The protagonist is our group of side characters.
Yeah, basically. It's really funny because like I was looking over the weekend, like just reading stuff, and people were calling Mikasa a deuteragonist.
Old Deuteronomy?
No. It's a term that I first encountered, actually, people talking about like JoJo Part 7, where they call like Giorno and not Giorno. They call Gyro and Johnny deuteragonists rather than
like duo protagonists.
Basically, yeah.
But she has yet to be anything close to a character.
That's
to be
exactly what I thought.
Armin is more Armin than anything.
Well, that's what it said. It basically said like Armin, Mikasa, and Eren are like the deuteragonists of.
Mikasa's hardly a character, so I can't say that.
I was really hoping we were gonna get some Mikasa moments this episode.
No, she's not I refuse to acknowledge her as a character.
She is kind of just like a cool.
Levi's more of a character, more of a character than Aquaman, and I'm more like wondering, like, hey, what's going on with Levi right now? And he's like probably dead, or half a corpse.
The whole thing, like, it's hard to give like Mikasa slack when Levi does exist, and Levi is just better.
Yes,
in every single way.
Yes,
like because that's all Mikasa is.
His backstory is way more interesting. Like all the interesting stuff in Mikasa's backstory revolving around Eren.
Yeah, like the all Mikasa is just she's epic badass and she loves Eren. And that's everything.
Like she could have this moment with like her fangirl, but she just locks her up in jail and just walks away and like doesn't have anything with her.
It's weird. It's like they actively try not to give her character moments.
Even when the moment of her like saving her, like there's nothing comes from that.
Yeah, because the closest we got was when she did lock her in jail, and Mikasa's whole thing was like, "No, you're being a bad Jaegerist. Like, no, Jaegerists are bad." Which is like at least an opinion. But this time, she just saves the girl. They don't even look at each other.
Like, I just don't. One thing I will never understand are Mikasa stands.
Yeah, I don't quite get it.
Like the first time we talked about this, and I told you look up like a Mikasa essay, and the first thing it didn't come is like, in defense of Mikasa, and there were
like several.
Yeah,
there were several in defense of Mikasa's.
I don't understand what people see. Like I get it. They'd be like, oh, because she's a badass. I'm like, but there's like so many other badass female characters in this that are just better.
It's true.
Annie is a way more badass, like, interesting character.
Yes, she is, and she's in it for way less time.
Your OVAs just do more for Annie as a badass, like, than anything.
I try not to think about the OVAs as canon, except the one, like
Annie.
the first one. But also the Annie ones really do feel like they fit perfectly into the series.
Like Hanji is just like a way more interesting female character.
Yeah, Hanji. Yeah, I mean, okay.
I know we're gonna get lost in the Mikasa. It's gonna be funny when we do a spoiler cast for Attack on Titan, like at the season roundup, and we just talk about the tragedy of Mikasa's character.
Yeah, but so I think the reason why we're kind of harping on it here is because like we have this scene with our scouts, our like last few remaining scouts, and it's kind of Jean that's the one that steps up here, and you're kind of like wanting Mikasa to like have a moment.
We have to step up against Eren, kind of thing, like grum back on her like season 1 character arc of like I can be someone without Eren, and now she can step up like, okay, I have to lead this charge of this mess that Eren just caused.
Yeah, and it's almost like she's stuck in that again. Like they're trying to give her that arc again but
she's not
the past
doing
few episodes,
anything.
She's been like, oh, I'm not going to put the scarf on. Like, no, Eren betrayed us. Blah blah blah.
But there's no like dialogue or mention, and Jean, as he always does, has to step up and be the fill-in leader for everything. And I love Jean. I'm glad. I
really appreciate that Jean got this like leadership in this episode because he's been really like kind of absent in this especially this part of the season.
Before all they go off and have the epic kill all the Titans moment. Like they have the moment with like Falco and they're like, what do we do with him? And they like, do we feed him to somebody? Like because like either Eren's doing this because of the outside world. Like he's kind of justifying why Eren's doing this, but like. But still kind of conflicted with it, though.
Yeah. Well, here's where they have like this really important conversation where they basically determine like why Eren is doing this.
Yeah.
And it's because he loves them.
Yeah.
His twisted love for his friends. It has created this scenario where the only solution is global genocide.
Yeah, and like, he stopped Zeke's crazy plan of castrating us, But Armin's like, he's still like planning on genocide, like kind of fuck. And then like Connie's like, should we feed him to Falco to Pixis? Like, and but Connie's like, no, we're gonna feed him to my mom. And then like
yeah, it's one of those hanging. It's been hanging.
Yells
plot
at. We didn't know that his mom was still like really alive at this point, or like experimented on, or like I thought she'd be a failed experiment maybe, but like no, but he's just like. Wants to take her and like yells at just gets the standard thing of bullying Armin, which is just like, you were just fed Bertolt, you fucker, you fucking feel bad, you.
Yeah, this is kind of like
I'm like, stop bullying Armin, please.
Armin is.
He didn't choose to be the survivor. Like he went through this already with Fluck.
It's true. Like he even had his big like heroic sacrifice moment where he didn't expect to come back from that.
Yeah. And then,
if anything, he's regretted it. Like he had that moment where he's like.
Also, he probably forgot about his sacrifice too, because the memories are kind of. Because your memories get fucked up. Like
maybe
your memories tend to get like disappear from like the moment you like transform.
That's true. I don't know.
Has been like the running thing of this.
I don't know if that's like important. I feel like Eren like told him once he woke up.
Oh yeah, Eren probably told him everything, but still he probably didn't remember himself of like. Of everything,
unless Bertolt kissed him and he got them.
And then you got Bertolt's memory of him watching him burn in front of him, which is probably fucked and horrifying to see the memory of. But and Connie just kind of like, kidnaps Falco and gets away from everybody. So
and that's kind of not really addressed till the very end. Like Connie just pieces out with Falco.
Connie's arc is now going to be: do I sacrifice a child? Falco will probably wake up and like probably talk about everything with him and. And just like you kind of have to have the mindset your mom's gonna have 13 years in is going to be dragged into this whole fucking bullshit. So
yeah, it's like I understand how I think it's like legitimately compelling. Like having this plot point because Connie, the way that Connie would view it is like here's a chance to get my mom back, but he doesn't quite understand how Eren does like the 13-year curse.
It's just like kind of like a mirror to the Levi. Or when Levi's had to make the decision, but this can also lead because we know it's like kind of like in a wood, it's kind of like past the woods, like it's in that outside like wall village.
Rakugo.
And I was like, this also could just lead to meeting up with Hanji and Levi. And yeah, that'd be even more complicated. Of like, no, feed the child to Levi. Like,
he would need to be Titan-fied first, though.
Yeah, it's true. But have some Zeke juices lying around.
But yeah, I think this is like, I mean, we've been waiting for like, a Connie moment.
Oh, we found Historia. She's gonna give some of her spinal fluid to this.
But no, Sam, that spinal fluid's for the baby.
We have plenty of babies. I'm just farting out.
But I really do, like, I mean, we've talked about how we've been waiting for a Connie story.
He's going to kill the Beast Titan. He's gonna counter Zeke. And like, do I keep going with the child or do I kill Zeke and eat him?
So, yeah, I think it's certainly an interesting, like, kind of 11th hour. It's not really a twist,
this
but
Connie's arc.
It's like a little wrench in the plan. Because everything's already falling apart, and then we have, like, this additional stress of, oh, Connie's now kind of gone rogue.
Off the grid.
Connie went off the grid, yeah. And this is also before they do their epic fight scene where they kill all the pure Titans.
He's not involved. But yeah, so basically we have that. We have
That's kind of like the main strokes of that conversation. The big thing is where they really come to the realization of like, oh, is Eren like really like doing this for us? Like,
yeah,
is Armin, because Armin basically comes to that conclusion. Like, is that conclusion like justified?
Yeah, but I think the biggest thing that's gonna come back is he probably has the memory of Eren Kruger, who because he saw the future and saw something that told Grisha, I guess, so Eren could see his memory of protecting Armin and Mikasa. So whatever he saw there is probably doing it for that, which is going to come into play eventually, I would hope. But like, yeah, that's probably whatever he saw in Eren Kruger's memory of the future that he saw will come into play.
Pretty soon it's going to be just like the 16th Eren that's just watching. He's watching like memory upon memory of memories.
I hate this inception of fucking memories.
Eren just gets stuck in his memories.
I mean, it can happen, but yeah. So we basically cut away from that and kind of cut to.
We do get the Saul Goodman.
I was gonna say we cut to a lot of the survivors in the area are going through, which is like we saw these recruits who end up with like and we see the our main characters or not
the scouts.
There's Elena's group. We see the recruit trainers. Like we see the Saul Goodman attacks our protagonists, I guess, and we have the whole like Sasha's family running around.
Oh yeah, so we
cut around with them to see like what's going on. Like Sasha, we cut around like we see Elena still is just like mind broken there essentially.
Yeah, wondering, let's focus on the.
We'll focus on like all like the little arc. Yeah. Like Elena has mind broken. Yakapan's is like, fuck, like what happened? And then it's like, why is the Titans not listening to Zeke's orders? Is like basically that whole thought going there.
Yeah, Yelena because Yelena's entire thing was that she thought that Zeke was like a god. Like she just worshipped Zeke. So this just completely breaks her.
And like, what happened to Zeke? Is he dead?
I think it's kind of a combination. It's like, wait, why would Zeke betray us? Also, is Zeke dead? Like
someone eat Zeke?
Like, I wonder what would be worse for Yelena. Like I wonder if she'd prefer him to betray her or for him to die. Like
probably both. And then it basically
both kind of did happen.
And then we have the recruits who are cowering, and then we get like a Titan break in through very very reminiscent of like the like season 1 when like all those like recruits are like panicking and like the supply stuff and everything, and they bust through the walls, and then we have Sasha's family running away, and they get she fucking just like not looking where she's running, and just like the trauma daughter, Kaya, and she just buzzed heads through this like wooden like fence essentially, or wooden gate. It's brutal, and the Titan, the Titan, which we don't get a good look until like it falls and looks
looming
up.
Over her, yeah.
It's fucking Nile, sadly,
and it's also like a very small one, and she immediately has like fucking PTSD flashbacks to when she watched her mom get eaten
slowly.
Yeah, like slowly watch the light go out of her mom's eyes.
Gavi with her emotional support gun comes in and saves her.
Gavi is so great. One thing I really love about this is Gavi is not just like a perfect badass. Like the recoil of the gun is still too much for her tiny like 9-year-old body.
I mean, it helps to put it into the mouth of Nile.
Yeah,
who is the one that saved her essentially. And got her away.
It's interesting. Like it's like fucked because we kind of know as an audience like there's no way that like Nile can really come back.
Yeah, the only one that actually like put her, that helped her, that would actually she had to put out of his misery, similar to how they have to do for Pixis. The only two that notable ones that we see.
Yeah, but so we have this really great moment too, like right after. So Gabby saves them from Nile. There are two scout guys, or I guess whatever. They're two Paradise soldiers that are like, "Hey, how'd you get that gun? Like, aren't you that bitch girl that killed Sasha?" And then they basically Niccolo.
They cover for her.
Yeah, Niccolo. Who it took me a second to remember why Niccolo was there. I was like, oh yeah, I guess he was with them in the prison this whole time.
Yeah.
But so yeah, he ends up taking the gun. So he takes the blame, not the blame.
But he's I took the shot because I used to be a former Marleyan prisoner.
And then Kaya also stands up for her too.
And then it is yo, can't you guys actually be heroes and escort us out there? The kid begging them, can we just get the fuck out of here?
But it's this great moment where the two people that have the most right to hate Gabby come to her defense because they see that she's changed. Also, she's seen the error of her ways.
Also, Sasha's dad had the most epic speech ever to for forgiveness, so it also helped.
Well, yeah, I love that they do that little callback too. So they have a moment where once they're safer, they have a moment where Gabby's why did you save me? You have every right. And then Kaya was you had every right too, basically, to fucking kill us. And they just kind of have this shared moment where they realize what they're doing. And then Niccolo he brings up the line again that that Sasha's dad had said about how everyone has a devil inside us. The only way to survive is to escape the forest. And
yeah.
I was ooh. It's a good line. It's a good line. I love the escape the forest line.
And I think, and we also have we have our main character groups get attacked by Saul Goodman, of course. The one Malcolm panel that you cannot see if you tried. Everybody always show look, Saul Goodman. It's Nicolas Cage.
Yeah, it's funny because I didn't want to show you that manga panel.
I've seen it.
Oh, because it's funny. I just didn't want you to see it now because on that panel the text says the walls are all destroyed, and if you had seen that before last week it would have.
I literally just seen they seen picture of it without any of the text.
I have seen people who've removed the text, thankfully, but of course it doesn't matter now.
I wouldn't have
this was that would have been a huge spoiler.
I would have been if the walls didn't crumble at some point in this series, it would have been I want my money back.
But so yeah, we kind of have this
we basically
epic insert song moment where all of our squad guys, our scout guys make it to the little castle.
Yeah, they get to the castle. They get all the thunder spears, and they basically put Pixis. They remember Pixis and have to put him out of his misery. Essentially, we see the recruits crying, begging for their life, and get saved by Keith, which is fucking great.
Yeah, Commander Keith, the drill sergeant guy, fucking swings in, which I don't want to be an asshole.
Grish's best friend.
Yeah, Grish's best friend. I don't want to be an asshole, but I have to point out, he was beaten to death earlier today.
Yes.
And he's fine.
He got better.
He's able to
he used to
fully maneuver gear.
He used to be the scout leader, remember?
Yeah, but he's an old guy.
Don't worry, he's good.
And he got beat up by a bunch of Sam. If a bunch of
19-year-olds
he
also didn't resist the beating, so he kind of just
Yeah, I would say that's even worse. He probably expended even more energy.
Why do they call them little big pussies and weaklings?
I mean, yeah, it was a cool moment. I just have to say, if I got beat up within an inch of my life at 8 a.m. and then at 9 or 4 hours later they wanted me to fucking lift a car, I would. They had
everybody kind of sent a jolt in him and healed up him, I guess. Hey,
what?
You're gonna happen to Levi. That jolt little heal him. It's healing factor.
He's fucking
accelerate the Ackerman healing factor.
You suspected. We talked about that when we were watching it.
Gonna heal up that face wound right away. You're gonna have that Toto scarf. That scar right in his eye.
So yeah, I mean, there's not too much to say about the fight. It's just kind of an epic fight. They actually
very nothing too crazy.
Do the animation.
We talked about Mikasa and not really having a moment with her fangirl.
Yeah. It's just a lot of thunder spears. It's funny how OP the thunder spears are. You don't even need to check to make sure you blew the Titan up. If you just shoot one there, you're fucking. You got
they feel a lot longer than they were though too. It's a very long pole just sticking out of all their necks perfectly.
Yeah, I also have to say there was the detail that I loved in season 3 with the thunder spears was they really made sure to show the moment that the pin was pulled.
Yes.
And it was
always a slow motion of the punch and the missile going down, and then hitting it, and then the pin pulling.
It was also very important as to where the person was flying.
Yeah,
it was
always very important. The blast. If you didn't you could be caught in the blast if you weren't too close to happened to Mikasa when every trying on the Armor Titan, it happened a lot.
Yeah, because with this it just feels like they're just kind of shooting them in there and they explode.
It's literally what happened to Levi.
Yeah.
So you would think.
It's just one of those things, I understand why we don't have, all these, great attention to detail, especially when there's, literally dozens of Titans being destroyed.
Yeah.
But, I mean, those scenes in, Season 3 are just so wonderfully animated. They're so iconic.
Yes. And then, then we basically just have, the group, a regroup, essentially, on... Oh, we do have two things.
Yeah, we have two
talk about the meeting up with Yelena, who's still mind broken. Flock somehow lives.
He's there.
Somehow, some way, Flock has returned.
I love that there's a dude that's Flock's back. He's we found him. And Flock has a reputation.
And Jean is just like me, and it's you live. God damn it.
It is really funny that he's in a position where he can't kill Flock.
He wants to.
Yeah,
I would like I said, Jean, if you just shoot Flock right now, you will be cemented as my favorite character in this. But yeah, and then basically Yakupan's talking to them and just says so what happened in your at everybody?
He called it a daydream, which I liked.
Yeah,
that was interesting. Because him and Yelena aren't Eldians, so they didn't get the.
He's what happened, and he kind of learns is my home in danger? And they're basically yeah, everybody is basically in danger outside these walls. And then Flock put the gun to Yelena, and it says, you're being detained.
Yeah, I'm gonna fucking kill you.
And Yelena's huh?
Yeah, Yelena doesn't really care. She, as you said, she's mind broken now.
She has her trauma.
And then we have another kind of, big scene.
So where are they regrouping? In, the basement of this church, I guess? Or,
I guess. I mean, well, this was,
Or this, underground?
It's kind of like a castle. It doesn't really matter. They're just, underground somewhere.
Yeah. And they basically just have it regroup. They see Gabby yo, chill. I'm here to help. I'm not here to murder anybody else.
I'm a good guy now.
I will only kill Eren. I will only kill those that you want me to kill. But I'm here to save Falco. What happened to the first Falco? He's oh yeah, Connie kidnapped him to go feed him to his mom. He's for fuck's sake, why would you tell Gabby that?
It seems really weird that we didn't really see a scene where they were hey, don't do that. They just let him do it. Because the only thing is, because we talked about it, Connie yells at Armin, he's you got to eat Bertold. It's sure.
It wasn't my choice to be eating Bertold.
It's sure, but there was also, a huge, fight over that decision. We don't even see a scene where Connie, picks Falco up. Presumably he did, but we just
There's
don't
no one
see
there. We just have, one person follow him to make, maybe help him, go through this decision,
I don't know. It seems a little weird. That's the one thing that feels really weird.
I said, if they intercept with Hanji or something, Hanji was there, and Levi was there, and just saying this is the Levi had to make this decision, and it wasn't an easy choice, and you were going to defeat a child. This a child who hasn't done anything, especially
Yeah, and
I'm not sure who else seeing what Falco did, but Falco's the only good boy.
I can't remember if we mentioned it. I think we did, but the whole thing that Armin says is yeah, that kid's a high value target. He's basically
he's a warrior.
He's basically their brother. You can't
he is very close to
him.
To the cart and Reiner. So
you're basically just gonna lose any goodwill that you possibly have with them by.
But he's always too traumatized with what happened with his family because his mom's the only Titan. I guess the mom's the only one left of his family.
And it's I think it's a very relatable thing.
And I'm guessing
you'd think about wanting to save your family member if you have that chance, especially since they've talked about it's been 5 years.
And as we learned with Ymir, I guess you don't really age when you're in Titan form.
You don't at all.
Yeah.
Specifically, she was a Titan for 60 years before she got.
Before she
became the luckiest fucking Titan in the world.
And and then we get basically she tells about Reiner because Reiner hurt. He said that his armor deactivated for some reason. Wait, the happened when when the walls broke. And he's wait, that means all the armor is wearing off.
And specifically what Eren said was that he said I undid the hardening around the walls,
which is he just did a hardening in general. So I guess every Titan just lost their hardening ability. It seemed.
Potentially.
Oh, that hardening powder that Eren had that one time?
Yeah, well, I guess he doesn't really need it right now.
No.
He could just turn it back on if he wants.
I guess so. So
but then, that's kind of the big thing. It's like, oh, well, if Armin's like, all the hardening's undone, and then we get
speaking of hardening, and Annie's like, Armin's like, whoa.
Yeah. Annie, I think it's interesting that she's like, it's like liquid.
Yeah, it's literally melting. So
do you think it's like her body fluids like that have accumulated? No, I'm kidding.
I honestly don't know what this, like, if it even is like a water base or what it tastes liquid that's like containing her, like, tastes like.
So I think very interesting. So we talked about this. I've mentioned this a million times. So Annie's not aged because she's frozen.
I guess so. Yes.
So what do we think that means for the Curse of Ymir? Do you think Annie has like?
Well, Annie
should have about 2 years left.
Okay, I'm assuming that her, Bertolt, and Reiner all got theirs relatively the same time.
And I think Reiner has 1 or 2 years left.
Yeah, he's like the same time as like Aaron has left, essentially, for Reiner.
Yes.
And
Aaron has a little bit more.
Aaron has a little bit more because he was a kid when he got it, when they attacked.
That very same day. No.
Later that
Not exactly.
And it looks like Annie's finally free after 10,000 years.
Literally from fucking episode 20. What is it?
Literally the last episode of the first season.
24, I think.
Probably.
Episode 24 to 81. Insane. Literally
dragged into the worst possible reality she possibly could be. Like, wait, guys, what did I miss? Well.
So she's been on ice for like 6 or 7 years at this point.
Yes.
Like for sure 6 years, maybe even 7. So yeah, she's missed a lot. We know that Hitch and Armin have been visiting her.
So Hitch can be there with her, assumingly. Probably.
We might see that could be a thing.
Yeah.
Cuz like
what no Hitch does to a girl.
What do you think Annie what do you think Annie's going to do?
Like, yo, what happened? You look different. First off, I guess they have to go rendezvous, or Armin's going to go like rendezvous with her because he's gonna be like, "Yo, I ate Bertolt. I have his memories. Let's do this."
Let's fuck. And he's like, "I'm 16."
Well, Armin's like, "This is Japan logic, though." And then like, it just like they're gonna have to drag her in because she has the minor Titan control power. Also, so maybe it had like something to do in here. At least get it out of the way. Well, they kind of
there's no more.
They said
Titans.
They killed all the pure Titans. So I don't know, but just another Titan to join their squad essentially. I feel like they're probably gonna have someone to go find Reiner essentially, and maybe just like finally have that discussion thing, and maybe have Peak. I don't know, because the only person to calm down Peak would be Gabby or Falco or Reiner, I guess. And talking with Reiner could be the only way. And if they have escape blimps, so that's the way I guess they can like follow Aaron. They did mention that.
That's true. Yeah, they do. There are escape ships. I think he said like to the south or something.
Yeah. So
right now it's like let's just like take.
And you saw Aaron hovering away, scooting away.
Yeah, he's just shuffling away. So just to take like keep track of everyone. So Reiner's just like fucking around.
He's in a building sleeping.
Yeah, he's just like sitting.
Peak is unaccounted for.
Yeah, Peak does feel like one of the more level-headed ones.
Yes.
Like, I feel like Peak isn't going to, like, do anything super drastic.
No, especially with her Titan with no combat ability now.
Yeah, basically.
And
it's weird to think that, like, it could probably stand on two legs, but it just, like, doesn't seem like it. Like,
no.
We've seen, like, when she was, like, setting up the tank and stuff, and, like...
She was able to stand up and get to the. It
was really funny looking though.
It was really funny, but yeah, we have her. We have Hanji and Levi in the river going down to wherever. Could easily lead the. I still think they're gonna get to the village where. Because he said it could be a camp set up for like a scout research camp. And that's where she could end up to like maybe treat Levi's whatever his gaping head wound.
So he had a gaping face wound. He was missing fingers.
Yeah.
Presumably his dick fell off.
And Zeke wasn't even there to do that.
Well, Zeke was there.
And Zeke didn't have to castrate him. We have Zeke unaccounted for. Who fucking knows? Maybe like Aaron absorbed him or just ate him in a weird way. Because he was like literally in Ground Zero when Aaron transformed.
Yeah, we have no idea.
But yeah,
and that's it, right? I guess
our protagonists are all like grouped together, which I'm assuming like Armin will go to where Annie's being held because he visited her, so he knows where she's at, and he'll probably bring maybe he'll bring Mikasa with him. But I feel like they'll have maybe a Gabby and maybe one other person will set off for Connie. I guess it makes sense, or and then maybe they'll meet with Peak, and that's about how they get there quicker by riding Peak over there. Be like, we gotta save Falco, essentially. That's all I can. Anything else I'm missing?
I think that's really it.
I feel like they could finally okay, we have enough of Sasha's family now.
That's what I was actually thinking about. Like, do we think that these characters have any more usefulness to the story?
Yeah, I think that's it. So
yeah, they're kind of not really super necessary anymore, especially since Gabby got the closure with Kaya and Nicolo. Mm-hmm. It's kind of bookends. But yeah, I just thought that was a pretty well written episode. Obviously, we kind of talked about our gripes, the animation.
Yeah, we talked about Mikasa again.
Yeah. I'm sick of talking about her. We're just so negative every time we talk about Mikasa.
I'm just going by since you know the manga. I'm assuming it doesn't get better from how you are.
No comment.
From how you feel personally from.
Actually, Sam, I've been playing a character this whole time. I actually love Mikasa.
Oh no. You run a Mikasa main only the daily Mikasa Twitter.
I do run the daily Mikasa Twitter. Yes.
You lied to me about your Annie. It
was all an act.
Yeah, it all an act. You actually hate the Annie figure.
Yeah, I hate it. The Annie figure got me hate it.
You actually love movie Mikasa.
If you actually look back, every post that on the official Mikasa Twitter account that I run this week, every post has a secret cryptic hint about how the end of Attack on Titan is going to work. You, the audience, have to go out and look for those cryptic hints inside those tweets.
I always stayed on Team Peak, so I'll never shift away. Don't get attached to anybody.
All right. Well, I guess let's end it.
Yeah, I guess there's no other question unless you have.
No.
Basically my prediction for next episode, which I'm not sure. Next weekend's gonna be late as well, probably.
Yeah, this will probably be a day or so delayed.
Yeah,
we'll see.
You're busy, and I'm gonna be on vacation a little bit.
We might be able to record on Monday.
Yeah, it'll probably be a Monday episode. So just be patient with that one because February is a busy month.
Apparently.
Yeah. So I guess Thank you all very much for listening to us rambling. This is late night for us for recording, but.
Yeah, it's past midnight. I gotta go work tomorrow.
Same. I gotta work in the morning. And so please put any other comments you have about the episode, put it down there, and subscribe if you haven't. You can follow the podcast on Twitter or me or Jim separately. And you can also join the Discord to discuss Attack on Titan as well. And with that, we will see you next week on Annie's Finally Free.
Annie's Finally. It's gonna suck not watching that episode.
I know.
I want to see it.
The one time you're busy on a Sunday.
It's the Annie
It's
episode.
Literally, the Annie episode.
The Annie Returns episode.
Oh, rest in peace. A big F for Jim.
Yeah, how the
it was fine because Jim's actually a Mikasa fan, so it's fine.
Yeah.
But
That's true. Secret Mikasa fan. I'm gonna open my shirt and have a big Mikasa tattoo on my
chest. Friendship ended with Annie. Mikasa's now my best friend.
All right. And with that, thank you so much. I hope you have a wonderful week. See you next Titan Monday.
Movie Monday.
No.
Movie Monday is back on the menu. No, we haven't started the web series yet.
Oh God. That we still have to watch the Attack on Titan Junior High.
Yeah, we have a day. We'll have a day planned out.
It's gonna be fucking tonal whiplash watching that. It's gonna be all these old ass memes look at Bertold's so tall.
Look at the Sasquatch being bullies.
Yeah, and
look at all these really funny jokes of wow, you're acting really weird there.
It's wow, why does Ymir have so many lines?
That's weird. And we'll have a day of drinking and watching that.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
So, all right.
All right. With that, goodbye.
We'll see you next week.
Bye.